The nation's largest police department has a new temporary leader today after New York City Police Commissioner Edward Caban abruptly resigned yesterday. And it comes less than a week after federal investigators raided Caban's home and seized his phone as part of a corruption probe that has surrounded Mayor Eric Adams' administration in recent months. So for more on this, I want to bring in former NYPD Deputy Commissioner Richard Esposito. Thank you so much for joining us. So before we get into what's swirling around the mayor right now, we know that the interim police commissioner is Tom Donlon. What do we know about him? Who is this guy?
He's a really solid guy with a very long and deep career in law enforcement. Comes out of the FBI. He has a deep background in counterterrorism and intelligence, which, as you know, and as we've seen and remembered this week, is really important to the public safety of New York. Not only that, he served as New York State's Director of Homeland Security. So he has the political relationships in New York's political leadership that really help him walk into the building, One Police Plaza, go to his office on the 14th floor, sit down, and get right to work.
And that is very important for people who are who don't live in the New York area. They may not be aware of what's going on, that there is an investigation. A number of Mayor Adams, members of his administration had, phone seized, but we really don't know exactly what's being investigated by the FBI. But certainly this is all very, very concerning. How much pressure is the NYPD and the mayor and the administration, how much pressure are they under to gain the trust of New Yorkers and, quite frankly, also rank and file officers?
As the mayor gets into a political season, gets ready for next year and a race for second term, you can't have a cloud over your leadership. And as people who follow politics know, having the support of police is incredibly important to a political candidate for local office, especially in New York, where crime is on everyone's minds. So without knowing what the scope of the various federal investigations are, and there are, I think, 4 now into the mayor and his top aides, it's very important that he has made this move to clean the top of his leadership. Just to be clear, Commissioner Edward Caban has been accused of no wrongdoing. He has a brother who runs a nightclub protection business, and that seems to be at the heart of one of the investigations. So they took the police commissioner's phone, probably looking for communications, and that's what he did. A very wise thing of stepping down as the pressure built and taking some pressure off the mayor.
How has the NYPD fared under Caban?
It's done a very good job under Caban. Crime is down overall. We hear, of course, always about the bad ones. Somebody pushed in front of a subway train, a police officer attacked by a migrant. But, that's the nature of news, right? What we do in the news business, we call attention to these kinds of cases. But overall, New York is not sliding backward to the days of the 70s when we had, in the 80s and 90s, where we had over 2,000 murders. Murders are down, robberies down, burglaries down. The city overall is safe, and Caban did a very good job of keeping it safe.
All right, Richard Esposito, thank you very much.